We're giving Shelly grief. She's like, 10 seconds, guys. We're over here. Not that we were arguing or anything like that. We were just discussing.
Just jabbing.
We were just jabbing.
You were jabbing.
So, news this week.
Hi, everyone, by the way.
Hi, everyone. Oh,
Hi.
I can.
This is Stacey. I'm Steve. Jim. Pete.
Thanks.
We're here.
We need to know.
We're here to talk about things and stuff. And
We haven't
such.
done this before, so it's first time. So.
I was really excited over the weekend getting a message from Zach saying, check out Reddit. And
Oh, yeah.
So I pop onto Reddit and then I look at PC Master Race, which is like the ultimate Reddit space to be in. And we're like on the top of Reddit. Unreal Tournament, people were talking
A
about
couple
it.
people saw it, which was nice.
People saw it, and I was like, wow, where'd this come from? That somebody had downloaded the game, some random Redditor, and took some huge, amazing screenshots, and they started talking about the game and everything. Zach, thank you very much, Zach, jumped in and started talking to them. I answered a few questions, but Zach was just on a roll, so I just let him go with it.
Yeah.
And we heard from the statisticians that we have around here, and we had a lot of people pick up and play over the weekend.
Well, I think and Zach was talking about this earlier today. I think that one of the cool things is that he was able to step in and talk to people. It really exposed how unique and special our process is.
Right.
Not just that, hey, there's this cool Unreal Tournament game coming out, but there's this cool way for us to interact with people, and it just really kind of exposes what's great about this project, in my opinion.
It's so different now. I mean, people could just, like you said, you could just come in and answer questions,
Yeah.
and it was so great. I know on Sunday night, I was like, what? Why are all these people playing? Oh, yes. And we also had an interview that came out on Sunday on Games TM in the UK, and that got a good
Featuring
response.
somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you answered most of the questions for me. But
Featuring somebody.
yeah, it was very cool because we were getting a lot of tweets about that. So there were a lot of new people playing, and we had people pop in the forums asking questions for the first time. So it was awesome. Now, one reminder is just that when we have these things where we get some exposure and a lot of people jump in, just remember these are a lot of new people. Some of them who have never played UT before.
Crush them.
Kill them. Knock them in the face.
And that's our stream, folks. Thank you.
But
Oh,
yeah,
that was
just
good.
kind of remember to give them a little bit of onboarding process and just say, hey, welcome, great to have you here. We see you're level 1.
Just be nice.
Just be
That's
nice.
the main thing.
Show them how to play. Help them have a good experience.
Yep. Point them to the forums and answer their questions. So. Let's see here. That's pretty much what I wanted to say for news. We are going to have a new build coming up here soon.
Yes.
Yay.
So we're hoping to get a build out next week. We're just starting this process. There's a few things, like there's a lot of cool stuff happening with weapons, but that means that they're also lot
Some
still.
broken
There's a lot of
Yeah.
stuff coming up
So-
with
Yeah.
weapons.
So we got to get that, but we've got a lot of different areas. I haven't actually gone through and figured out exactly the changes, but a lot of good changes in all areas. We've got more movement changes. We've got more improvements to hubs and map vote and those interfaces.
We got a lot of feedback after the last build in the forums and
Yeah.
stuff, so
Yeah.
it was nice to
Yeah.
see. And
So that was a huge build. There's lots of
yeah,
changes.
there was a lot of changes in there, but it was
Yeah.
good to see a lot of feedback because it gave us a chance to iterate and make changes. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So is there anything that's coming that you want to talk about, maybe?
Probably be more ready to talk about that next week. I'll
Okay.
Answer
Alright.
questions, but yeah.
All right, then we're going to jump right into Pete's stuff.
Yay.
Yeah, some weapon stuff. Unfortunately, I was
Yes.
surprised. Did not know I was going to be on the stream
Yeah,
today.
so
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 Last
Sydney
minute
had a
decision.
baby. We all know that, and we all congratulated Sydney. So my plan was Sydney was going to come back and jump right into to looking at stuff, but he had so much work to get caught up on. And you were away last week too.
Yep.
But you just happened.
But
to
you didn't have a baby.
I did
You
not
didn't have a baby,
So
and you
you
didn't
had no
say you didn't
excuse.
say no. So we just kind of threw this together
Yeah.
at the last minute, and but you still have some cool
Sydney
stuff.
still
for us
has
to
Still
look
have
at.
some cool stuff to show.
Sydney says a little bit of that new dad look also.
He
Yeah.
does.
But,
Well,
that you really
last
do.
week was a lot of fun. We were kind of heads down because you were out, Pete was out, Mysterio was out, Matt was out, or Sydney was out.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was kind of a quiet week.
Yeah.
Quiet
So-
as in we all worked and just didn't say anything.
Yeah.
One of the coolest things that I'm really, really excited to share is that for those of you that have been following the weapons from the beginning, you know that we had some challenges with FOV and the guns appearing really shrinky, small, dinky, especially when you're
Shrinky, dinky, small.
a lot of the higher end players prefer to play with a higher FOV.
Yeah.
And so that was really challenging. The other thing is
No,
that
6. Sorry.
the other thing that was really challenging is there was some strange code that Steve had put in there that we didn't know about. It was actually moving and scaling the weapons as you
FOV.
changed
Sorry
FOV.
about that.
Yeah.
Did I? I thought I took
He was
that out.
trying to
Which was
help.
giving me the madness because I didn't know what was
I'm
going
really
on
sorry.
behind the scenes. It's okay
Game
though.
development,
That's
folks.
the problem.
We stripped all of that paperclip and duct tape out,
Yeah.
and we also got a new kind of cool code solution in. So we were testing in the previous build, so a lot of you guys were wondering why the link was so huge and the other weapons were looking the link prototype, and it's just because we were testing that kind of technology, not the technology, the code implementation,
Is that the sandwich?
the sandwich, the
Yeah.
panini effect. I don't know why it's called that, but it's the sandwich thing that makes the guns look cool. So as we are showing
that was
here,
my stomach growling.
this is the same effect applied to the shock rifle, and this is a screenshot taken at FOV 90. So if we go to the next one, this is FOV 100. You can see that the shock is relatively same position scale. Go to FOV 110. It's not getting all shrinky, tiny, pointy,
Nice.
changing scale and position. And we go to FOV 120. Again, same kind of relative position and scale.
Oh,
So
that's
that's
awesome.
been absolutely incredible for me and anybody that's doing weapon work, because now we can place the weapon and have it be guaranteed that that's exactly how it's going to look, regardless of what people are doing with their gameplay
The bagel effect.
settings. Yes, the bagel effect. So that was huge and amazing. So big shout outs to Nick, our tech artist, and also the engine rendering guys who, as I kept reiterating in the forums, it's like, I think we'll get it, just be patient. So
Yeah.
now we have it, and now it's been a huge effort to get that in. The other big thing that we've been doing is we've had first-person hand
Hands.
implementation. So we'll have actual animated hands. Previously, I just put a dummy static mesh in there as a placeholder. So 2 cool things about that. We'll have actual hand animations, so we can do cool stuff like the side style, alt fire on the enforcers,
The enforcers.
get fun
Yay.
stuff like that back. The biggest cool
Better
thing,
raise and reload animations.
yeah, absolutely, and
Sniper rifle and such.
kind of taunt showing the weapons when we start doing
Yeah.
custom skins. The really, really cool thing, though, is that your hands will reflect what character you've chosen. So if you're playing Necros, you'll have Necros hands. If you're playing,
Oh, that's awesome.
whatever character you're playing, your hands will reflect that. So that'll
Yeah.
add a little bit of immersion in that area. So those are 2 big technology things that we're implementing. So that's why a lot of stuff seems like we took a couple steps back in the quality of the weapons, how they're placed, how they're scaled. Once we have everything implemented, then we'll make another final pass, rescale, rebalance, reposition,
Yep.
and make progress there.
Awesome.
So the other thing I did was pulled some cool whip renders from the community. So I'd like to showcase some of those. First one up, we have Raste, who's working on the Deemer. And I don't know if this is his very first model, but I think this is one of their first forays into super detailed high poly models. And they've been doing an excellent job working with the community. Here's the first person view of the Deemer. And then if you go to the next one, kind of shows the
Oh,
side
that is
view.
really cool.
So they've been really great about taking feedback from the community, posting multiple renders. Really it's really cool to see people learning the process and learning how to model, and also working with the community throughout that process. Those are all extremely challenging things, even
Yes.
separately, but
Yeah.
to do it all together. Really proud of those guys, coming out great.
Do they start with concept art for that, do you know, or do they just...
I think they just started.
Nice.
Raced.
That was
yeah.
Raced. Yeah.
Is that shoulder
cool.
mounted?
And if
Yeah, you can
could
see the little,
forward them
a
to
little
the
pad
thread.
there.
Yeah.
It's cool.
All the ones that we're showing are in kind of the first half page of the weapon forum. So if you go and just browse the first page, you'll be able to find them pretty easily, and go in there and give comments, give feedback. Next one we have up is Rexus,
Constructive comment.
and they've been working on a version of the Stinger.
Oh, gorgeous. I love the
Interesting.
blue on that.
And I think this is also kind of just riffing on what they thought was cool, not starting
Yeah.
with anything official.
Mhm.
They just wanted to model something cool and learn in the process. And
Oh, it looks great.
Yeah.
they've also been doing a great job at working with the community, taking tons and tons of feedback, asking for feedback, posting questions, implementing things, and it's really amazing to see the quality of their models progress over time.
They even got the little cord on the side.
Yeah.
All of our new
It's
weapons have the tube.
It's a space gun. You gotta have a
Yeah,
tube.
you gotta have a tube.
How's it
What exactly
powered
is
if
a
it
tube?
doesn't have a tube?
I don't know what the tube does.
Are bullets going through the?
I don't know what the tube does, but you gotta have it on the new
Intertubes.
UT weapons.
We
Apparently.
just make it look cool. We'll figure it out afterwards. We'll write up a bunch of mumbo jumbo that explains how it actually
It's
works.
coolant for the.
Yeah.
'cause otherwise
Yes,
the
Barrel
barrel
would
overheats.
barrel spinning. Yes, it's water cooled.
Water cooled.
Awesome work on that. Join in the forums, give them feedback. And next we have, I think I've showed this before, but we have a little more progress, and I really love this one because it's a classic retro
Old
throwback.
school bio.
This is Rooster 128 doing the UT99 upres pack. And
That's cool.
so this is progress on the bio. And next we have the minigun.
It's very cool.
And then
Oh, memories.
the
Oh, my favorite rocket
Oh.
launcher of all time.
so doing a really great job on those, and I'm really looking forward to seeing those
Yep.
finished and in
That'll
game.
be fun.
Be fun to have them as a whole pack,
Mhm.
and
Yep.
you just plug in the pack, and then you've got all retro
Yeah, that would be very
UT99
cool.
weapons.
Yeah,
Pretty
that'd
cool
be
stuff.
Very, very cool and fun.
So next, if you've been following my thread on the link gun, you've already seen some of these, but I had to show something just in case.
There it is.
People haven't seen it, but here's my current
It's the
progress
grow effect.
on the link gun.
Shelly's magic. You know that,
That
right?
was a cool effect. Resin. So this is still very work in progress. Again, I was been out for a few days, so I haven't been able to make much more progress, but I dumped some renders late Friday night and have been getting tons of great feedback. And so I'm in the process of going through all that stuff. I might actually pause on this and try and get a very, very early rocket launcher proto mesh into the build for Friday.
That would be cool.
That would be excellent.
Pause on this, so maybe I'll do that. But still, plenty of time to make changes to this guy, even though it looks like it's getting fairly detailed. I haven't baked in too much geometry, so I can still make changes. I'm still getting feedback. Gooba sent me a few little paint overs. I'll post those in the thread. Some of his suggestions, and I've yet to talk with Perna to get his crits and feedback. And then again, I've been getting a ton of great feedback on the forums, and so I'm reading through all of that and filtering through what stuff I can implement into the build. So,
That's primary and alt fire, right?
yep, yeah, to where
Oh,
the
that's a great view
kind of
right
bars
there.
will come up. A lot of people said it looked more streamlined. A big thing that's interesting about this design and what I try to do with all the functioning parts is you can have the arms almost tucked all the way down, and it really makes the weapon seem much more streamlined.
Yeah.
We can make those angles any kind of degree that we want so that it looks thinner, thicker, chunkier. And even when we pull them up to the side, I'm pulling them up as a straight 180. Some people didn't like that. We can angle them however. Once I do the final animations, I think it might be nice to have them kind of latch up and then pop down.
Yeah.
And then the combination of material effects going through the tube, and then also the biggest thing we're missing in the prototype mesh is seeing energy, the tiny energy beams coming out of the side, which will funnel in and then kind of stream around.
Yeah,
so-
Alan was working on a new effect for this, and it showed a lot of promise, looked really good, and then he went on sabbatical. So hopefully we'll get that in relatively
Sabbaticals
soon.
are so awesome, but they are so terrible for development.
So we have some new effects that I think, like you said, will
Yeah.
help.
Some
really
really,
help
really-
sell it.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing that I always try and help people understand on the forums is that weapons are a combination of all of the parts, the effects, the sound effects, the animations, all of those things combined to make it.
Somebody
have
just started a new
personality.
thread in the forums doing sound effects for it as well. So
Oh, sweet.
we'll see what happens.
Awesome.
Sounds.
So that's pretty much it. Next build, hopefully we'll get some stuff in. I'll try and sneak in rocket launcher prototype. Some stuff will seem a little bit more broken than before, but we'll try and get as much stuff patched up as possible. And then with the following build, expect to see a lot of progress with the weapons and start to see us really dial stuff in. Cool.
Really?
Hopefully. Really.
That's
kind
very
of.
nice. And we're going to take some questions.
Yay.
Yeah. Jim looks so excited about that. So Joe's not here this week. Joe read all the questions for me last week.
Yes, he did.
That was really nice. But so I'm going to do it this week.
You have to use your
and-
best theater voice.
Yeah. I just can't do his voice. What's really funny is, I don't even know if I should admit this, but every once in a while he'll read forum posts in the voice of what he thinks the forum person sounds
Oh,
like.
yes. Yeah, we do dramatic interpretations of
Yeah,
forum
that's
posts.
that's always a good time. But anyway,
But
okay.
we love you guys.
Yes, we do.
Very much.
Joe especially.
Yes.
Will Marketplace support Bitcoin or other cryptocurrency payments? That's a good question.
So that's really an engine.
That is an
Yeah, that's up to
question,
the
not, or
Epic.
engine/epic biz question. I mean, this is just a guess, is that probably not anytime soon, but I really don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, they could be working on it right now,
And we just
I have
don't
no
even know
idea,
it.
But
So many things
sorry,
going on.
but it's definitely not something that we have any input or control over. So
Stop
Your
by
guess
the
is almost
stop
as
by
good
the
as
engine
ours.
stream tomorrow and ask.
Yes, there you go.
Yep.
Although
The suit and tie
Chance won't
guys
be
would
here.
know.
Was
Do
he
you
on
want to know why
sabbatical too?
Chance is not going to be here tomorrow?
Oh,
More babies.
Chance had we have so many babies
Yay.
right
Congratulations,
now.
he's
Chance
been
had
waiting a long
baby.
time.
Don't
And-
drink the water.
Don't you? No comment.
Baby making.
Lazy Me wants to know, talk about the, he doesn't want to know. He wants us to talk about the Dodge slide from the last build and give some info about maybe bringing back something like this or not.
So, so the Dodge slide. So there were 2 changes in the Dodge slide in the most recent build. One was that we limited the top velocity of the slide a little bit, and also limited, especially going up hills. And then the other was, as a side effect of some of the changes we made to direction changes in running movement, which generally everybody liked, it also reduced or made the Dodge slide friction higher, and so your slide would slow down from your like you dodge into it, and then it would slow down from that dodge speed much faster than it had before. So I actually, in this build, have changed that to where sliding has its own friction value, just like now. I had changed some others. So
I think that was
we have
a-
friction values for everything
Yeah.
now. So
Well, that was a big deal for a lot of people.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
were
so
very
it will
disturbed.
So yeah, I'll be interested in your feedback. It should feel more like the build before, a little bit, little bit different, because we're trying to do some stuff for gameplay balance and to find. I mean, the important thing we're trying to find with slide, just like with all the movement, we want to have lots of different interesting ways to move around the level that are useful in combat or in just moving and are fun to use, but that are also require interesting decisions. So we don't want, for example, dodge slide to always be the right
Yep.
thing to do. We want it to be based on understanding the geometry of the level, and hey, here would be a good place to wall run and dodge off and slide. Like finding that we want to have people discovering and feeling really proud of their competence at finding the right way to maneuver through the level using the combination of movement modes. So that's what we're trying to do with the slide. Is we're not trying to, we don't hate fun. We don't want to take the make it
Why do you
but
hate fun?
we're trying to find the
Well,
right.
not everybody does. Some of us
yes,
do,
yeah.
but not
Well, I
all
hate
of
fun,
us.
but
Joe
there's other
Wilcox
people that
hates
keep
fun.
arguing with me about fun. I don't know. But we're trying to find the right balance so that it's a useful and fun movement mechanic to use, but at the same time it's balanced so that it's something that is part of this arsenal of movement modes that you can use, that you choose the right time to use it, and you have fun using it, but you also want to
Well,
sometimes.
the big thing for me is that it should be powerful in context, right?
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
you shouldn't be able to just do it all the time. and
Or you shouldn't want
get
like
the same
if,
results.
If sliding at the end of a dodge is something that you want to do every single time, then we failed because we just basically
Yeah.
we might as well just have it tacked on by
It's-
default.
it's-
So we want to make
that
it.
was the same reason we
Yeah.
got rid of double jump.
Yeah.
Or a large reason we got rid
Yeah.
of double jump, because you basically did it every jump, and therefore
Yeah.
it became.
Although not to start the argument again,
No,
'cause
no,
really
no,
also
yes.
Oh
more
my
than that,
goodness.
the dodge
Yes.
jump was a
I already
Like-
opened that can of worms on
Yes.
Sunday.
Yeah.
so.
is also more about level scale and the ability for
Yes.
level designers to control the flow in their maps to make interesting levels. We're not opening that back up. please go
You're
make-
afraid just because I said the words, huh?
I would love to
His
see
personal phone number is.
I would love to see some. I mean, I'm still very interested. We've got double jump support in our movement, so please, if you
Oh, don't go there, Steve.
passionate about that, go make your own
Yeah.
movement modes.
Next
we're
question.
but we're
It's going to
but
happen.
that's not something that we're opening up
Yes.
again right now. Just 'cause
Okay. Oh, Alex is in the chat. Alex is going to be your host tomorrow instead of Chance. So Unreal
Ah.
Alexander is going to be here tomorrow. He said Chance had a second chance.
Ah.
Yeah, but he'll be here tomorrow for the stream. And he's going to have to tell me in the chat what the topic is tomorrow, because once again I have no clue.
There you go.
All right. So this question: will there be any updates on work in progress characters that you're working on, even if it's just one update every 6 months?
You missed the world tour question.
Oh, that's the important one.
I wanted to.
Well, we'll go back to that one. Let's do this one and then
All
we'll
right.
go back.
Okay.
So basically, they want to know is if we can give some more updates on where we are with the characters.
Yeah, we were talking about it at a couple different venues, and yes, we want to do it. I think the main problem thus far has, A, the onus is on us, and we haven't been doing a very good job of it, but B, we don't really have a dedicated character artist.
Yep.
So it's hard for us to give people feedback on their characters because, like, I could go in and do it, but I don't really know, right?
Well, we have Camille, who's he's been dedicated to us.
Yeah, for a while from PCF and on and on.
But he's
and on.
coming here now.
So we're
we
actually going to talk to Camille about being able to help out.
And hey, guess where he is right now?
Sabbatical.
He's on sabbatical. But when he gets back, we do want him to
Yep.
start being a lot more hands-on.
And I can work with him too, so we can between him and I, and with help from the artists and everything, we can get some more information in the forums and get feedback. We're also talking about having him and other people do some more tutorials to give people a helping hand.
Yeah.
One of the things that I just noticed today, like there's a few heads that people are doing, cool head variants and stuff, and one of them actually took it as far as doing the low poly and seeing how it would look with the normals and actually like getting it rigged and starting to get them in game. So in the interim, if you guys out in the forums would like to show people how you did that and show people your process, I think that would be incredibly helpful. There's a lot of people out there who can do a piece of concept art or a high poly model and then be like, hey, why isn't this in game yet? Not realizing that that's about the first quarter of the process, maybe even less in terms of actually getting it into game.
It's the easier part for sure.
So all the hard work, I think, is where people get confused and don't really know what to do. And I certainly have no idea how to do it. So.
Yeah, and I'll definitely try and venture out of my little corner of the forums more as well. It's just the thing that people need to realize is it's really, really time consuming to get out there and go through it all, read through it all, respond to it. And like even me, when I respond to a post, I try to make it as articulate as humanly possible. And that takes me a little time. Like I'm rewriting it, spell checking it, poring over it, reading it, making sure that I'm
making
saying
sure the word
what
double
I think
jump
I'm
isn't
saying.
in there anywhere.
Making just you want to communicate. I'm trying to share the process, and characters can be incredibly time consuming to model and much more difficult to model than weapons in a lot of different ways. And like they said, we haven't had anybody on site that's their dedicated role. And so there's numerous reasons why we haven't been doing that, but we're definitely trying to get better on
We
all
actually,
fronts.
we've started a Flickr account. Perna's going to upload some stuff to it. So we're going to try to use that a little bit too.
Cool.
Establish the visual Bible and have approved concepts.
So people can look and
And-
say, this is what it should
And
look
again, we have a Thunder Crash, we have a Necris. We would love to see you expand those teams
before we
before we go
really-
into
and also
start
really,
doing
I
other
mean,
things. So
if you don't feel like there's the concept you're looking for, I mean, you guys, we want the community to help us drive the vision of the game. I mean, there's been guys, we were talking about earlier. I mean, guys like Kezeohin, who basically had a vision for what the flat cannon he wanted to make. He had a great concept for it, and he made it happen because he had a vision and he built it.
Well, and that vision was heavily sculpted through the communication and coordination with the community.
No, and
Yeah,
which
he
was
did a
great.
great
That's what I'm
job
saying.
of hosting
But that whole
entire
process, but
yeah.
like the community can go and I think community can go and drive that process. If somebody has an idea for a Thunder Crash team member that they think would be awesome, and they start using the forums to drive that and get community buy-in, and they can create epic quality art, then that's fantastic. That will, I mean, that's a great way to get your vision into the game, right? I mean, don't just wait for us to spoon feed you how to do it. I mean, we want to have a consistent game, but that vision of consistent game that we're trying to build is a vision that we're all kind of sharing in. So so don't be afraid, I mean, to experiment and do stuff.
Yeah, I mean, even the one variant I've seen in the forums on the Thunder Crash is somebody did a head of an old man, which is not something I think we would have necessarily done, but it's really cool. And he did, one with a beard and one without a beard, and what it looks like with the
and
beret and all kinds of stuff. And then he did the low poly, and but he's been posting every step of the process and explaining. He didn't do concept art, but he found reference just from screenshots online, and so he kind of worked through his process, and it's been really cool.
I think that's a really cool idea, actually. I mean, because that also is something that then we can come up with. I mean, there's interesting backstories you can have to this guy that's been in the tournament for 25 years, and
they've been doing all of that, right? Like he has a name and a backstory, and
that's fantastic.
So it's cool. It's great work.
It's very challenging and difficult, so I definitely understand how it's still going, but I think all of that stuff will start to snowball, and we'll just see more and more content, and then as we get more and more players and more modders, and it's a time-consuming process, and it is very challenging. So I just want to thank everybody out there that's doing that stuff.
Right.
And it's great stuff.
Yep.
Okay, this is from Code 187. Hello, Code 187. Will Epic do a world tour to promote the game? I'd love to meet all of you in person, and also Australia has a lot of UT fans.
Yes, so we know that. We at some point, I mean, we're still not there yet, but we know. I mean,
I
Unreal Tournament is
volunteered
a
to
game.
go to Australia.
We've got more Unreal Tournament players, and in every Unreal Tournament, this has been true in Europe, in Russia, in Australia. I mean, we've got huge populations, and I mean, the
Portugal,
United
Malaysia.
States, North America is a minority of Unreal Tournament players, and it's a large minority, and it's an important part of our player base as well. But we want to promote the game everywhere, and I'd love to go to Australia, and so hopefully there'll be a time when that's the right time to make that happen. I mean, some of our key community members like Raste are in Australia.
Yep.
We've had
Kazuhin.
The first clan I played with in UT was from Germany. That's how I learned how to swear in German. It's very cool how
essential life skills.
Yes, exactly. How our fans are all over the place, and it would be so awesome just to be able to go out. I know Jim's been out and about.
Yeah,
and got to meet some
I did
people.
a couple of the world tours for the Gears promo stuff, and it was fantastic just to meet our fans and get out there and see people, like you said, like there are huge populations. And we have been to Germany once with UT 2007, before UT3 was shipped. We went to
I remember
that
reading
giant
about
Malcolm.
all
That giant Malcolm is from Gamescom. So
and we will be out, or at least I will be out there again in a couple weeks. So if you can find your way to Germany, I'd love to meet with you, have a drink or something.
That's very important. Seriously, if you're in Germany and you're going to Gamescom, come say hi to Jim.
All 5 million of you, come say hi to me. That would be great.
Yes, that would
Storm
be
the-
really
storm
awesome.
the booth.
Should I give him some shirts to take with you?
I don't know. We'll see if anybody will be there to get them.
All right, that sounds like a plan. Okay, Scratch wants to know, will there be any bigger updates on HUD? In his opinion, the HUD is not functional.
It's not game is broken, cannot play.
Cannot play.
So,
Broken.
I mean,
because because is there a because in there?
Vertical weapon
the
bar.
vertical
There you
weapon
go.
bar.
Yeah. So, a couple things. The HUD is still something that over time we're iterating on. But one of our plans, and this is just something that we haven't had time to do yet, is to give people the ability to reskin their HUDs, including moving elements around, changing. So definitely, in the long term, we expect that we will support. There will be HUD variants that have vertical or horizontal weapon bars that move different elements around, have none. So that's certainly our vision, long-term vision. We've got some of the framework to support that done, but we just haven't had time to focus on it. I mean, the problem is
that said, in a somewhat limited capacity, you can reskin things. You can fully reskin things. You can move certain elements around. Like you can't make a horizontal weapon bar, but you can move the bar, to the top of the screen, to the bottom screen, to the left, to the right, do that kind of stuff. And so if you wanted to go in there, it's all in Blueprint. It's just values. You type in screen position 1 to 0 sort of thing. You can do all of that, and we'd love to see what you can come up with. I also started working last week with a UI artist from Epic UK who has started come up with a couple of new concepts for us of how direction we might go with the HUD overall. So I'll post those in the forums if people are curious, but no decisions made or anything like that. It's just more kind of a what could we do down the road sort of thing.
Scratch would also like to know why do we need slide when we have dodge?
you
It's
don't
a
need
new
to. You
world.
cannot slide, but I mean, we're
Yeah.
just trying to find ways to add more interesting dynamics to the game, add more variety to. I mean, we want
Depth.
the game to give players a lot of interesting decisions and a lot of different mechanics and ideas to master, like the really figuring out the optimum way to take advantage of all these tools in your movement arsenal is, I think, a cool part of the game. And you know, at the same time, find them. You know, we don't want to go. We want to find that balance between dynamic and variety without going too crazy. And so we're still figuring that out. But I don't know. I feel like, you know, we've been really happy. I mean, slide's one of those interesting things. We had it in there for
A long time and nobody used it.
well, people hated it. So first step was people didn't like the roll animation, so
Yeah.
people didn't use it.
Yep.
And then it just took a while for people to.
People use slide now. Wait, let me say it. Pete uses slide now. Not this Pete.
Yeah.
Evil
Pete Nub.
Pete.
Pete Nub. That's
yeah.
all I ever seem to do.
Evil Pete,
Sliding and
causing
feigning
trouble
death.
in the forums
That's-
too.
Well, I
see
think it's one of those things
chat.
In the
when
chat.
when it's proven to be useful instead of just a thing, people will start using it. And as more
Yeah.
people use it and people start understanding the context of when and how to use it, then
Yeah.
the larger community, I think, starts to understand, oh, this is useful because, and then it'll start to keep to
Yeah.
And we
pick
have
up.
discussions about that too. I mean, there are a lot of games that have a lot of different crazy movements, but
Yeah.
people still choose just to run around. You know,
I mean, I still.
Right.
Oh, never mind. I won't go there.
he does. I'm not gonna say anything. No, I'm just kidding.
I was going to make another double jump thing, but I don't want to. I don't want to open that can of worms.
Goldfinger, who actually signed up the forums just to ask his question, so
Yay! Welcome.
welcome, Goldfinger. Hopefully he's there watching. If not, I will go back and I will answer his question for him. Are there plans to code the translocator so it carries momentum with it? For example, if I throw my translocator out and then I do a lift jump and translocate while I'm in midair, it propels me in the air as soon as I translocate. It was useful and creative technique that he used in UT2K4.
So currently, if the translocator is still in the air when you lift jump, then you will get the lift jump momentum when you translocate. If the translocator is already landed, you don't. That is an open. I mean, I guess it's something that I agree we need to think about. It's been on my list. So this is not a new question. I
Right.
mean, actually, it was on my list back when we first got the first version of the translocator. I think Zios brought it up when he was
Yes.
here.
He's a big UT2K4 guy.
Yeah. So it's definitely so there's some functionality now. We certainly haven't at all decided not to do it. We just haven't. I mean, the problem is that we have to figure out how to change. I just have to look at how to change the code to support it, and until we have time to think about it, we just haven't gotten around to it yet.
Okay.
So, yeah, I agree. It's cool. It's kind of figuring out the right balance of how to do it so that it's a cool mechanic that isn't map breaking or
Yeah.
in some way gameplay breaking. But yeah, I've seen a lot of cool uses of it, and so it's yeah.
Speaking of the translocator, did we all see Joe's translocator fail?
The fail of the
From
week.
Zacubus's video. this
Yes,
week.
congratulations, Joe. You made the top 5 again.
If you haven't
for the
watched
wrong
it,
reasons.
go back and
again.
see it again. It should be in the launcher today too. So you can either go to YouTube and watch the video, or you can.
Poor
Sure,
Joe.
Joe is,
He's
uh,
not
watch
even
it
here
in
to
the
defend
launcher.
himself, and we're picking on him.
There's some amazing plays in that one.
That was a fun.
Yeah.
That was a fun day, and his videos are always just so,
Amazing work
so
by
cool.
Zacubus.
Yes,
again.
we truly
Continues
appreciate
to
it.
get better and better.
Is it 8 or 9?
9.
It's 9. Yes.
It's number 9. Yeah, it's number 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be in the launcher today. There's a few little technical difficulties I had getting it in there, but it'll be in there by the end. Shell, you're awesome. It was so beautiful. So we have got to wrap it up here. So we're going to ask our last question from Base 3. Will it be possible to move the weapon bar down like in old versions? We actually kind of talked about this,
Yeah.
and how much of the HUD is customizable.
So
Why-
we'll skip that one. So
Okay.
yeah.
Why is there no feedback from the admins in the sound design section?
There is. There's
Jim?
lots of feedback.
I
I am
personally
in
know
there
there is because we've
pretty
been
much
talking
every
about it.
single day.
One or two times a month, he claims.
Wow. I don't respond to
Check the
every
logs.
single thread and every single post, but we do read them and consider them. There's also a dedicated IRC channel, UT Audio, where several of the audio guys hang out. I know Base himself has been in there a
Yeah.
few times.
Oh, excellent.
I think
Yeah.
again the thing to remember here is we're a small team.
That's
Jim's
that's
Jim's the only
main
person
thing.
like
That's
Jim,
working on
Jim's
sound right
working
now.
on sound, but he also has lots of other hats.
Yes.
So it's just, I mean,
We have Sydney doing level design, and basically Steve and I and Matt are just like all other design. So
Yeah.
everything else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is tough, and we understand that this is community development, and
Yeah.
we do want to get better. So,
But
like
I mean,
I'll
that
try to-
said, we have 2 new music tracks that'll probably go into the next build, so look for that.
I love that.
Max, who was doing a lot of our weapon sounds, has actually taken a break to help somebody else out on a community project. So he's still active, but there's still stuff going on there. There's a new thread for Link audio. And the way I've been approaching it is when Pete introduces a new model, I start working on the new sound. And so Link just went in, and we just started that.
Excellent.
Rocket is going in, so we'll start in on that as well.
Nice.
Steve has already had a couple requests for fixing Rocket sounds
Mhm.
that I've just kind of been waylaying until we just do the whole thing together.
Yeah,
and
it's really
so-
hard if you don't have the final, not just the weapon, but the animation, the
Exactly.
effects, the whole package.
Exactly.
And then sound would be the very, very last thing that
Yeah.
you usually do.
So sound is happening. The really the only big unknown is when we're going to have like a dedicated audio programmer or somebody who can start handling occlusion and all the other things that we know are issues. But the actual creation of the sounds themselves, whether it's UI, gameplay, music, all that stuff is happening. It's just happening.
yeah. And I hope to spend
At
a little
a
bit of time
slow pace.
on improving sound occlusion and stuff a little bit in the next month
Yeah.
or so, but who knows?
Which also worth mentioning, last week, 2 weeks ago, we did a recording session. So the status announcer will have a new voice in soon.
Nice.
And we are currently still gathering feedback for what we want to do for the reward announcer. So if you have stuff, there's a wiki page up where you can add to, or we can post in the forums if you have ideas for things. But we'll probably do a first round of recording on that relatively soon as well.
Be awesome.
Status announcer coming. So
Sweet.
right now I'm supposed to have some concept art to show everybody, and I failed.
Oh, no, I failed because you asked me and I gave you a suggestion and then I didn't
Well, see,
send
I
it
was
to
willing
you.
to take the bullet there, but
Yeah,
so
my bad.
we'll double up next week. But as a surprise, Metal Fist from the forums has done some more papercraft.
Ah, cool.
And
Oh,
it's,
that's cool.
It's amazing. So instead of just doing a picture, I'm actually writing a story right now about the new papercraft. I'm not going to say anything more. If you're in the forums, you know about it already. But it's really cool. So I'm gonna post about
Very
it,
cool.
and it will be either in this afternoon or first thing tomorrow, and we'll put that on Facebook and everything too. So concept art. or-
Coming soon.
I think we should just show
Sweet.
something from Pete again that we had.
Or the monkey.
Or-
Or an explosion. Or monkey explosion.
Monkey explosion.
There we go.
There we go. No, you got to put the monkey on there too.
I only have 2 hands.
We expect so much of poor Shelley.
Monkey! Clothes on monkey.
Someday we'll get that monkey holding a flak cannon, and then he will be the flak monkey,
Yes.
and my life will be complete.
Oh,
And
yes. And then somebody will
explosions.
make comments again about that
That's okay.
black monkey. So make sure tomorrow you watch the live stream with Alex and give him all kinds of crap. It's going to be his,
Bitcoins.
I think it's his first live stream. He's done himself. Is that right, Shelley?
No, he's done for the engine maybe.
He's been on there before. I don't know if he's hosted
Here
though.
and there. Yeah, I don't know if this might be him flying solo for engine.
Good luck,
Yeah.
Alex.
Good luck, Alex. So make sure you come and give him some grief tomorrow.
There it
There's
is.
my monkey.
There's
Oh,
the
wait, wrong
monkey.
My monkey is too
trauma.
big. There we go.
And
Oh, he
with-
liked it. See, he wants you to pet him. We're really professional
monkey.
here.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Take care. Stop by the forums and say hello and give us your feedback. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.